Good morning, Commanders. How are we doing today? Hopefully you all are doing very well. Today's video, I wanted to take some time and take a bit more of a detailed look at the spreadsheet that the community has put together. Once again, thanks to all those that have worked on that. And it is this one right here by Jules Verne, Quasel, Blue Mandalorian, and the Star Trek Fleet Command community. Couldn't do this content without you all, and it is a super big help to every one of us in the community. I think it's a fair thing to say for all the work that you do. So before we jump into that, if you're new to the channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button. It really helps to grow the channel. You can hit the thumbs up and the bell notification to be aware of future content. And let's jump into it. So in my previous video, talked about, generally speaking, about the refinery and being careful to not level it too fast. And I think the video that DJ put out recently, I got a little confused, and I thought maybe if I got confused and was trying to understand the details, that maybe there were some other players out there. And I totally accept the fact, and I think this is probably true, that there's people out there that they couldn't care less about spreadsheets. Well, spreadsheets are kind of in my wheelhouse, you might say, as an accountant by day and a Star Trek Fleet Command player by night. It's something I'm used to, but some people just want the answer given to them and explained simply. So I'm going to try to do that in this video. I'm going to do some math with you all, but I want you hopefully to follow, to kind of go through my logic here. And looking at these levels on the side here, 1 through 4 looks to me like this is the G4 area. 5 through 8 is the G5, and 9 through 12 here is the G6. And then I'm also going to talk in this video a little bit about the mining, because I have some additional thoughts that go along with that have been expressed by the community, but not everyone watches all the videos of other content creators, or looks at charts and kind of talks through things or whatever. So I want to give you my thoughts that I've had since the last video. So anyways, let's look at this here. Currently, or before my last recording, I think I had the refinery level 5. So I was looking, and I'm specifically going to talk today about the Trillium D. I don't know about everyone else in the community. I talked with a few players, and I think that's the concern, is not the A. The A seems relatively easier to get, but it's the Trillium D that seems to be the challenge. So when I'm looking at the chart here, my methodology here was I want to be able to do as many double pulls as I can so I can max this out here. Because for me, it was okay for one chest, it was doing 42,000, and that would give me 650. And then I didn't focus enough on this stuff over here. We'll talk about this too. But there's 42,000 for 650 of the liquid D guaranteed right here for the refined stuff. And then I was kind of close to doing the 165 with the level of my ship and so forth. And so if I was able to do the 165 for the double turn in on a consistent basis, that would mean every time I did that, I'd get 1,300. Okay. And so, you look at this and you say to yourself, okay, and when I saw DJ's video, it kind of confused me, because I thought, why would I want to go up to the level 6 here, 7, 8, when I can't do double pulls here? Then I'm limiting myself, and then I'm saying to myself, okay, if I go up here, then I get more from a single pull, but if I can't do the double pull, what's the point? Okay, well, we kind of look at this. And let's talk about this bracket here. And so I'll talk about it conceptually and do some math, actually. So let's start with the G4 area. Let's do that. So if we pull up a calculator here, and we're looking at the change, you have to think about it in a long-term respect. Like if you're a G4 player, the highest you can go is this level 4. Okay, level 4 refinery. And if you're at this first level where you're doing 4,200 or 16,500, you have to say to yourself, okay, what's my potential? Well, if you look at this and you say to yourself, okay, the potential is 5,100 for a max single pull, that increases Take the difference and divide by the beginning amount. So your cost for your single turn-in increases 21%. Okay, 21.4%. Let's call it 21%. How much does your two chest cost? So if we go with the 19,500 minus 16,500, divide by 16,500, your two chest pull only increases by 18%. Okay, and so let's look at this. We know that the costs are increasing around 20%. Okay, between the two, take an average, and it's somewhere around 20%. But if you look at it, how much does your liquid D increase? 300 minus 140 divided by 140. It's 114%. Move the decimal over 2 spots. So what we're saying is that for a slight increase in the cost, you get a massive or pretty big increase in the payout. And then we're not only talking about the liquid D that you're getting, but you're also talking about how many uncommons, epics you're going to be able to get for this turn-in. And remember, you're going to be able to get more of these that you can then be careful with how much you trade down, I suppose. But you can then get more of this to trade down from the epic to the rare, to the uncommon, to the common, to do all the research that you need to do. So that same pattern we're going to see here. You may have different percentages. Let's look at it. But 50,000 minus 42, divide by 42. About a 19% increase in costs for the one chest in the G5 area. About 21% increase for the two chest. Okay, and then what's the increase in the liquid D? And you can do the same kind of calculation if we want to, but I just wanted to show this off real quick here. So 46% increase it looks like from the 950 to the from the 650 to the 950. So not as much because you get more than double by going by 140 to 300 here, but still a pretty big increase in the payout. And then you're also, once again, you're getting a lot more of these resources over on this side here. So that's the thought process here. You'll have to look at your individual game. I think you want to make sure that you can do at least a single pull, but what most likely you're going to see, and you'll have to kind of ultimately make the decision on your own. But I think that if you have a ship decent for your level, that what you probably will be able to do is you'll be able to take your refinery up to the max level for your kind of category. And you may not be able to always pull the two chest. Maybe you'll be able to pull it most of the time, but you'll be able to pull the single pull consistently. Now, if you looked at it and you said, you know what, I'm only able to get 20,000 raw D, for example, in this range here, very, very low, then there's no way you're gonna be able to pull the one chest. But if you can pull the one chest with extra to spare, you may want to consider going up to the two chests, or going up to the max in your area for your refinery. So hopefully that helps kind of give you some logic behind that. Once again, I think the researches, let's look at the researches here. The researches you're going to probably want to focus on are these two in order as much as you can. I made a tactical decision to take this up to 7. But ideally, you're going to want to max this out. And I only didn't because it's 10,000. But ideally, you're going to want to max this out, the hostile loot, because that's where the greatest source of your trillium is going to come from. At least until you get to your mining up and you're in the G6 area. But you're going to want to max out the mirror hostile loot initially and then max out the refinery. So don't be like me, max this out first. I only did this, I guess, for an event and to kind of test some things here. And then let's talk about the mining. The mining is has some pretty big bonuses. At max, it's what, 100,000%. It does seem like that it's the most beneficial when you're in the G6 range. What you can do though is when you look at your ships. If I look at this ship here, the most beneficial is if you have a ship that has a high percentage mining bonus. Okay, and that is going to just make the mining all the quicker. My Novas here, these G5 miners, are only tier 1 because I haven't needed to take it any higher. The mining bonus here for my Vort of War is 2,400. Not very high. You may also consider if you're getting a mining bonus, even though it's small, will it make a difference if you put on your, if you have a Ferengi whip, that may add if you have gotten that to the point where you're getting mining bonus out of that. So that's something to consider as well. But what I would probably do is you can use the NX-01 to peek into a system you've already looked at. So you can equip your NX-01 just right there. And how I wish they would make it so you didn't have to, so I think it's probably how the game is designed. You can't use a ship ability while you're in station, is my guess. But if I switch to mining here, see if it will show me. Okay, so we know there's some mining here in this premium system. I have to undock it, so let's do this. Let's set course and then cancel. And then, if I go over here and look in this system, so two things you can do. You can look here, and we see that we've got raw Trillium D. And we can see that with this miner, it's at 5,400, almost 5,500 an hour. So if I take 5 minutes to get there, I can only mine for 15 minutes out of an hour. So you'll probably want to put a speed crew on your miner to get to the system as quick as you can, especially if you're mining the Trillium D. You've got quite a few systems to get through to actually do that mining, so it might not be 15 minutes. But just using it as a roundabout number, if you can only mine for 15 minutes, you would take a quarter of this, and that is how much you could mine per hour. At my current rate, not very high. So you can take the NX-01 to look into the system and see what you can mine at. You can also, as you're passing through, so if you're passing through with another ship, then you can actually just have this ship queued up, and as you're passing through, just click on the node and say, yep, still not worth it. Yep, still not worth it. And hopefully at some point, if you have a miner that's got a high enough level of a mining bonus, that plus what you have from the research eventually may come to a point where you can actually mine the stuff faster than you can by hitting the hostiles. Will that take 2 trips? Yes, but hopefully at some point, and it looks like by the basic numbers, that looks like the biggest bonus where you're able to max it out is in the G6 range, but it's just something we'll have to keep an eye on. And who knows, maybe next month Scopio will come out with a new ship, and that new ship will be a mining ship to make it easier on us. Because they tend to make something difficult, like getting the Trillium D, and then releasing a new ship to fix our problems. Oh, how generous of Scopely. For a small price of $100, or your equivalent in your country, you can have a fast miner today. So, wouldn't surprise me one bit. Oh, and there my NX-01 expired. So anyways, those are my thoughts. I think you have to take a look at the efficiency of moving your refinery up. It may be more beneficial for you to get all the increased payouts to actually take it farther than you might otherwise think about, that you may not want to worry so much about doing the double pull every day. But if you can do the double pull most of the time, then it may be beneficial for you to take up your refinery up a few levels within your range. You do certainly want to make sure that you're looking at the numbers, make sure that you are getting enough for your single pulls on a consistent basis, and hopefully your double pulls most of the time. Then that big payout is going to be a big difference to you in your gameplay as you're trying to advance through the research tree and the benefits that are offered there. So anyways, hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, leave them below, and we will talk to you next time.